The Hawai'i Sports Radio Network on 95.1 FM and AM 760 presents Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ule Agbayani.
Good morning, beautiful people. It's Wake Up in the Den. I'm Ku'ule Agbayani alongside Paul Brecht on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM, AM 760, hawaiisportsradio.com, on demand wherever you get most podcasts. And it is a holiday, so you know what? Why not? We just thought, let's just do a special YouTube holiday. Let's get weird.
It's
let's
Christmas,
have some
right?
fun. Yeah, it's pretty much Christmas. I mean, we are in the midst of our own sports equinox with basketball getting into the mix with football, and football, specifically the University of Hawaii, doing pretty darn good. What did you say there? Now we got to wait till another game till next week. They're on the bye this week, but it has been a fun time here, and yeah, that's why we are live on our YouTube, and we're having fun with you guys. So if you're usually on our YouTube live stream, I know this has happened to our friend Caesar, where he finds out late that, and again, it was a game time decision that we were like, you know what, let's just do a little YouTube for this holiday Tuesday. Normally every Monday, so thank you guys that constantly tune in every Monday, but every now and then we like to throw it in there that we'll do another YouTube during the week. And next week, you guys all get a special treat because the plan is to have a live streamed YouTube show every single day next week, and special hours as Kyle Galdera and I will be broadcasting live from the Circle Resort and Casino. So tune in for that. So Monday, we will have our usual live stream, and that will be 8 to 10. And then on Tuesday through Friday, Hawaii time, we will be live 7 to 10, I had to think. 7 to 10, 9 to noon Vegas time. So 7 to 10 here in Hawaii. You get 3 hours of us, me, Kyle, and Paul. Of course, we're going to have Paul chime in on the conversation because, 3 hours is a long time. So we got to get you.
We also just need somebody here on the board to make sure we're all up and running beautifully.
But also talking story with us as well. But
yes. Also, by the way, I do want to note before we go any further, I do know that it's not Christmas. I do know that it's Veterans Day. Thank you to all of you who have served, are currently serving, have family members who are in the service. We appreciate what you do and all of your sacrifices and all of that. So thank you. I just wanted to get that off my chest before we went any further, because I was like, all right, I probably should also make sure that I'm also just making a little joke. But
Paul already starting off with the weirdness. That's
sorry, it's a holiday.
It was a holiday. We had no sports report. We were just like, all right, commercials. Let's just flow with this right now. The gate was locked. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing this morning. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, thank you guys for tuning in and joining us. And to echo what Paul said, yes, we appreciate all of our veterans and those who serve, continue to serve, and mahalo for all of your service. I do also need to make sure I give a shout out to my grandfather up in heaven, of course. It would have been his birthday today. My mom texted me 114 years old would have been his birthday today.
He looks great for it.
He does, yes. I know he's smiling up there and just having a good old time. So that's
I'm sure he feels great for 114.
Yeah. So he is, my maternal grandfather from the Philippines, from Ilocos Norte, in case anyone is curious on I'm Filipino on both sides, on my mom and my dad's side, but my grandfather coming over from the Philippines, working in the pineapple field, your traditional, Hawaii immigrant story. So, shout out to my grandpa and my mom, them, and all of my family on that Cachola side. So, fun story, just real quick, because I always think about this every time I think about, like, when we talk about my grandfather's birthday. So not only was he born on November 11th, but he was born in the year of 1911. So his birthday is all ones. 11,
That's
11,
cool.
11.
Big fan of that.
So if you just do the birthdays. And my grandmother his wife was born on the last day of the year. So they both have, so she's 12/31. Cool. And then he is 11/11. Yeah, that was a match made. There you go.
Big fan of that. The OCD in me, like that, it scratches an itch in my brain that just not many things can numbers. Get to. It was beautiful. As you were explaining it, you could see like this grin start to form on my face and continue to unfurl up my face. So happy heavenly birthday. And congratulations on having the coolest birthday of all time. 11-11-11 is, it doesn't get better.
And you know
than that.
what? Now that I think about it, because they were 10 years apart. So that means grandma is 12/31/21, which also looks pretty cool if you write down the dates.
It does. 1, 2, 3,
3,
1,
2,
2, 1. Yeah, it's still pretty cool. Big fan. Big fan of numbers, just in general. I don't know if you guys have picked up on this maybe in time. A great number? 2. That's how many wins the Jets have in a row, Koo. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. That's why I'm celebrating on this holiday. Thank you to our veterans, and thank you to the New York Jets for not making me miserable for another week in a row. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Hey, all of our football teams, as we were mentioning, is that
I know, what
my
a
team
weird
in the
thing.
Bears, your team in the Jets, Michael's team in the Rams, even our friend Colin that chimes in on our YouTube from the UH football program, the Chargers as well. So it was a pretty fun NFL weekend, and we'll get into that in just a second, kind of recapping it because we didn't get into it yesterday because we were too busy having our UH undefeated weekend party on our Victory Monday. So we'll get into some more national sports talk coming up in the next couple of hours. NFL in just a second. We will definitely get back into some local sports talk as well. More high school stuff, more high school football. We're going to talk a little bowling too. We're not joking when we say our Michael Liscaro is all out and about covering pretty much everything here in Hawaii sports, especially obviously on Oahu. We'll get back in. We'll talk some Mountain West football specifically. I thought it would be a fun day to kind of, because I saw people posting on Twitter and just different accounts from more serious media to not so serious, like your Barstool, Mountain West kind of thing. But it was kind of fun because they were doing this whole Mountain West football power rankings. And I told Paul, I'm like, you know what? We should get in on the action with this, going through our power rankings because they have the latest Mountain West football rankings in general that came out. So it'd be fun to kind of go through what our power rankings would be. And I think you guys can kind of guess what my number one team in the power rankings would be. I'll just leave that at there. But we will take a look at what the overall rankings are. We'll get into just the other part of college football and the landscape and get into some hoops. That being NBA and the college basketball world, as everything is in full swing with the NBA and college basketball going on right now. Clearly, we have a lot of UH men's games, and then the women return to action next week for UH HPU in action. They're on the road, however, so there is a lot to get into, and yeah. We'll definitely discuss some NBA and how I guess the Lakers won that trade in hindsight. Nico finally getting fired. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. And the Orlando Magic and the New York Knicks play tomorrow. I don't know if you realize that, Paul, but that's the whole thing.
I probably did realize it. I remember as I was filling out my calendar for the month, because once again, long running, not even a bit, just a long running thing about me. I need a desk calendar so I can keep track of things in my life. I remembered writing down like, oh, Knicks Magic, and thinking to myself, well, that'll be a toxic day. That's going to be a brutal day on the show.
It probably won't be that toxic.
No, not
I'm not
really.
as like, I love the Magic. That will always be my team. I'm just not as like diehard as I know
That's
you
fair.
are with the Knicks.
That's fair.
And will like the Magic. And surprise, surprise, Jalen Suggs is injured again. So
I did not realize that.
It's one of those like, oh, well, what are you going to do? It's going to be one of those. I mean, not anything season ending at the moment.
Yeah, but
one
still.
of those like, oh, okay, he's out again. But anyways, all right, let's get into some NFL. What another week 10 in the books. And what another week of oddities and parody that we have been discussing with the NFL slate. I mean, starting off when we look back on last week, Thursday, that the Broncos barely beat the Raiders, so that was a good one. The Bears coming out on top over the New York Giants. Yes, I know they don't have Cam Scadaboo, obviously, and Jackson
now they
Dart.
don't have a head coach.
Yeah, that's right. Brian Daboll gets fired. Jackson Dart got injured in that game, but that's football. And yeah, maybe if Jackson Dart stayed healthy and it wasn't Russell Wilson in there, something else could have happened. But you know what? It's football. Part of, winning and getting to the end is hoping that every one of your players continue to stay healthy. So the Chicago Bears win it. The Colts and Falcons going to overtime? Like, what? Now the Colts are starting to kind of show what the Kyle Caldera was saying, and like, I don't believe in this team.
As somebody who now
But
owns
you know what?
their first
Winner
round
is
pick,
a winner.
I was very much so hoping that my Falcons could pull it off. And unfortunately, they could not, because you're right. A winner is a winner. And the Colts, to their credit, they do keep on winning. And they're going to have to, because the Texans have seemed to turn things around a little bit as well, keep themselves in the playoff mix. The Jaguars starting to fade a little bit. Obviously, the Travis Hunter injury not helping matters and whatnot. But yeah, they're going to need a few more wins, even still.
Hey, speaking of the Jets, though, that division now is all of a sudden kind of wonky. I feel like both of our divisions are kind of wonky, with the Green Bay Packers losing a close one to the Eagles yesterday. And, you know, I thought this was going to... I normally don't do this because it's not good for my football mental health. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just look at this way too early NFL playoff picture.
Oh, no.
I'm like, the Chicago Bears are in there.
Yeah, they've been pretty good lately. I don't know if you've been keeping up.
I just don't look at the standings because I'm so used to the Bears being at the bottom, and that after this...
You're used to having so many losses that the wins don't really matter by the end of the year.
After this week, I'm like, let me just look what the standings are.
Just take a peek. Just peek.
We're 6-3 with the Lions, who are technically first because
whatever.
But the Lions, number 1 in the NFC North, so they would have the 3 seed right now in the NFC side of the playoffs. But the Bears, though, second in the NFC North with that 6th spot, followed by the Green Bay Packers, who are 5-3-1, with the Bears having that one more win. But there you go, the NFC North taking over the playoffs all over again. And boy, oh boy, I'm going to enjoy this. Similar to how I was like a few weeks ago when it came to our quick picks with Kyle Goldera. I'm like, I'm going to rejoice and brag about it because I could only brag about it for so long. And I'm pretty sure Kyle is beating me now in quick picks. So this will be the same scenario with the NFL playoffs and the Chicago Bears, because it's only a matter of time before something happens and they implode. And I don't know, it's just too much to hope for. So I'm going to bask in the fact that if the season ended today, my Chicago Bears would be in the playoffs. And you know what? They're doing a pretty good job in competing as well. So I am just rejoicing in the fact that, wow, I can actually watch a good football team for now. And I mean, like I said, we're just a little bit past midway through the NFL season.
More than
so
halfway through the year is how we say that.
Anything can happen. And bring it on, Lions.
It's fun for Chicago, and I am really excited for you. A really fun comeback for the Bears this past weekend, and that's a big reason, by the way. I brought up Dable getting fired. It's a big reason why. It's the 4th time that's happened to the Giants this season, where they've seen victory snatched, or they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, or whatever the phrase is.
Oh, but all of that, brought me to the point about divisions. And then in your division, you got the Dolphins, like, putting a smackdown on the Buffalo Bills. Like, not just winning. You know, they fire their general manager, and all of a sudden,
issue, clearly,
makes sense that, hey, let's not fire Mike McDaniel. Let's still continue with Tua Tagovailoa, because the talent is there. But for some reason, the GM maybe was having a say. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a fluke win, though, to put a smackdown. They were at home, granted, but still 30-13 over Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills did the Miami Dolphins win by. The Bills 6-3 still. Dolphins, that's just their 3rd win on the season. But I don't know. Is there going to be a little bit of a turnaround, especially with the Jets kind of stringing together a few wins there? It's getting a little dramatic, and I can appreciate it. I don't know about you, Paul. I mean, this is your division.
So here's the thing, right? The Jets and the Dolphins still stink. Like, they're still bad. They're not
True,
good. They're teams that are starting to maybe put things together. It's cool that the Dolphins are still playing hard for McDaniel. It's cool that Tua is able to put together a few good games here and there. And, you know, this is a Dolphins team that really shouldn't be able to compete all that well. Frankly, they're not really trying to. They traded away Jalen Phillips, one of their best edge rushers, at the trade deadline. They're taking calls. Like, they were ready to trade away Jalen Waddle if they got a good enough offer. Like, there are different things there where you're like, Miami probably has already packed it in on they fired their GM. But nonetheless, it shows a little bit more what I was getting at the start of the year, where I was looking at this division and I was like, I still think the Bills are the best team, but the rest of the teams, they're kind of in a similar bucket. Clearly, I undersold what Drake May, the step that he was going to take this year, and Mike Vrabel. Actually, I don't even think it's that. I think it's just I didn't really believe in the receivers that Drake May had. Because Stephon Diggs coming off an ACL tear, it's just not really full strength there. You got some rookies. Kayshon Boutte is good now. He wasn't great last year. He was fine. Also, I'm a Jets fan, so I was unfortunately I have to hate against them a bit. So. Yeah, I guess I undersold the Patriots a little bit. And also, they are taking advantage of what is a last place schedule, right? I mean, they were bad last year, and then all of a sudden, guess what happens? They win games that they're supposed to win with good coaching. They do the things that they're supposed to do, and once they put together a bunch of wins, now all of a sudden you see them taking down a Buccaneers team who earlier in the year, I think I said it, is this a sleeper Super Bowl team? Is this not even a sleeper? Is this just a Super Bowl team? And obviously there are a lot of injuries that Tampa Bay is dealing with right now and blah, blah, blah. But, to go on the road and win against the Buccaneers, it was impressive from Drake May and these Patriots who, as of now, I don't think you can say anything other than are at least tied for the best team in the AFC. Are they the best team in the AFC? Would you take them over the Colts right now?
Ooh.
Those are and I guess the Broncos. It's the first off, the Colts, Broncos, Patriots. 2 months ago, I tell you the Colts, Broncos, and Patriots are leading the three of the four divisions in the AFC. Your reaction is what?
I'm not believing.
That's pretty much what I thought.
What are we doing here?
Exactly.
And I mean, the Jets have the chance to do the funnest thing.
God,
I mean,
dude.
it is, like I said, it is a divisional game. The AFC East, the Jets and the Patriots play for Thursday Night Football. I look at it now. Yeah, Patriots are on a 7-game win streak right now. Their only losses, which is so weird in hindsight to look at, was the first game of the season. They lost to the Raiders of all teams, and then they lost to the Steelers,
right?
who are just a team. You don't know which team is going to show up. They have really good wins against good teams, and then they have weird losses as well. So the Steelers are not sure. They would be penciled into that final playoff spot in case anyone is curious, if the playoffs were to start today. But yeah, looking at it, hey, the Jets have a chance to maybe just.
So the thing is,
and I get it, because I'm like that way too with the Bears, where you're like, all right, well, Chicago's not. I don't think they're going to win. They're good enough to win the Super Bowl.
I just want to see them compete.
Yeah,
this Thursday.
You want them to be good, but it's like the Jets. As much as you're like, well, maybe they're not going to compete in the playoffs or make it to the Super Bowl this year, and fan wise, you're like, well, maybe and you don't want to go finish with too many wins because you still want a really high draft pick. But then when it's the divisional game, when it is against New England, who is, like you just said, probably, arguably, you can make a case, the best team in the AFC at this moment. But if there's one game that the Jets would want to win, it would be this one. Just to get that staple win, right? We've been talking about staple wins when it comes to UH football and Timmy Chang and all of that stuff. This would be the staple win for your other green football team. Just to put it to the Patriots. And the Jets are at home, so at least there's a little bit of that advantage. Hopefully it is some type of advantage.
It would be so funny for the Jets, who, once again, are not good. They're not going to have Garrett Wilson. They're not going to have A.Z. Thomas, who was their third-round pick, who they really like. Bunch of injuries on a team that already isn't very good. And they traded away. I think they're 12-point dogs.
Oh, wait, sorry. And I misspoke. The Patriots are the home team.
Yeah.
12.5. There you go.
All right, that means it went up. It might might get to 14 by the time it gets to game time. And the funniest part is what they've done the last 2 weeks two games, I guess, against horrible teams. By the way, against the Bengals, who with Joe Flacco, and the Browns, who love you, Dylan Gabriel. Brutal showing this past week. The entire Browns team. The Patriots are not either of those groups. And yet, I sit here and I'm like, maybe New England's going to look past the Jets. It's a short week. They're in first place. The Jets suck. But the Jets, maybe they're spunky. And maybe they can compete. And maybe they'll be able to steal one late. And maybe I'm just coping. Because realistically, I think
Maybe
this
we're
is.
just hoping.
I do think that the Jets will be able to cover if it ends up being like a nearly 2-touchdown spread. It just feels like too much to me. I think the Jets are going to play hard. And while the Patriots are good, I don't know if they're like that level of good. And I say this now, it's going to be a 45-3 game, and I'm going to look like a total clown on Friday, but it's fine. I don't know. I want to see him.
Fine.
Want to see him compete. Crazy thought. I know.
Crazy thought.
Insane ask.
By the way, when we talk about Michael's favorite team, the Rams putting a smackdown on the 49ers.
They might be the best team in the NFL, by the way.
42-26. Also, though, another West Coast team that's popular here in Hawaii, the Seahawks, putting a smackdown on the Cardinals, 44-22, doubling up with the even numbers there. They looked pretty scary as well.
They're a wagon right now.
Woo!
Sam Darnold.
I was going to say, there's your Sam Darnold guy, man.
I have always been a Sam Darnold truther. I've always been. Don't lie. Don't lie to yourself. I've always been a Sam Darnold truther. And it's so unfortunate that it's not in the Jets uniform, but I always tell myself that it would have never worked if he would have stayed in the Jets uniform. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for all our Seahawks friends. I think Kyle Chinen is a Seahawks fan as well. So, I'm happy for him.
Fine.
It's fine. At least one of my friends is happy.
They're pretty darn good. All right, just to close out our NFL conversation for now, in case you guys are curious, the full way too early playoff picture as it is slated right now. So again, you got the Colts at the 1 seed, followed by the Broncos, Patriots, Steelers, Chargers, Bills, and Jags on the AFC side. And on the NFC side, you got the Eagles at the 1, followed by the Seahawks, Lions, Buccaneers, Rams, Bears, and Packers. And if you take a look at the futures market, however, no surprise, the shortest odds to win the Super Bowl, we still got the Kansas City Chiefs there at plus 550.
Who are sitting on the outside looking in.
That's why it's hilarious, and that's why I had to point it out. It's like, you guys did not hear me say the Chiefs at all, and yet they are still the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Again, we are just past midway through this season, so a lot more games to go. That's why it's hilarious to talk about it right now. So the Chiefs at plus 550, the Rams are up there with the second shortest odds, along with the Eagles, 7-1 to win the Super Bowl. Closely followed by the Detroit Lions at plus 750. And then you got the Bills at 9-1 and the Seahawks at 10-1, followed by the Colts at 11-1. And then let's see, Ravens at 14-1 and the Packers at 15-1. Where are our teams?
The Jets should be probably 250
Okay, the
plus.
Bears look like they're 100-1. That makes sense.
Oh, that means the Jets are like 500-1?
I can't count this many zeros.
Ooh.
It's like 1,000.
It's like 1,000 zeros, or
I think it's 1,000-1. But
that's
it's
not
really
that
small,
bad.
so
I'll toss a
might be
sprinkle on that.
10,000.
No, kidding.
Might be 10,000. They're basically way at the bottom.
They
with
should be.
With the Titans and the Commanders and the Giants, Saints.
I was going to
Dolphins,
say I can name off the
Raiders,
teams.
Browns. Those are all together bunched up at the bottom.
Trust me, I know all of them because all of them are the ones that I'm constantly looking at fighting us on Tankathon.
Oh, Tankathon. I love that.
We're fighting.
All right, we are going to take a break, but when we come back, we will continue football talk, but we're going to switch over and talk some Mountain West football, get you the latest rankings, and get our take on what we think the power rankings should be in the Mountain West. So we'll have fun with that. Feel free to text us at 808-888-KGU1. That's 808-888-5481. Or we are streaming all live on our YouTube channel, a special little holiday surprise stream that we're doing. So if you're in there, you can chime in on the live chat as well. We will be right back on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Wake up in the den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Wake Up in the Den. Ku'ulei Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM, AM 760, hawaiisportsradio.com, and streaming live on our YouTube channel. A special Tuesday live stream on this Veterans Day. Again, mahalo to all of you out there, all of the veterans, all of you who served and have continued to serve and dedicate your life to this country. We appreciate you, and we hope you have the best day today. And as we mentioned, we are streaming today, and Caesar jumping in there. No, Caesar, you heard correctly. We are broadcasting live on YouTube every day next week. Today was just kind of a special one. So next week, Monday, we will be here in studio, or at least I will be. And then the Tuesday, we will broadcast from 7 to 10 Hawaii time. So we're going to do 3-hour shows, mainly because we're hoping to try to effort getting a lot of guests when we're there in Las Vegas. I know you guys appreciated that when we had a lot of UNLV people join us. I'm going to try to see if we can get Matt Elliott on the show, because I know he will be there. So we'll try to get, I know Tim Murray from VSiN, he will join us. He is. He's going to close the show. He's going to close out our Friday show. So we're closing out our week. Tim Murray's going to join us for a majority of the final hour next week, Friday. And yeah, we're just trying to line up everybody. We'll talk to, hopefully get Derek Stevens on from Circa, Mike Palm. Mike Palm is funny. I forget his exact title at Circa.
Any relation to Jerome?
No.
That was a joke. Sorry.
That would be...
It'd be quite impressive.
Yeah.
Understood. What's understood doesn't need to be said.
So, but he's funny because we interviewed him a while back, and back like when he was just getting into like the gambling scene or whatever, and I guess he, surprise, he worked with a lot of people that were from Hawaii. And so I forget how it came up, but I talked about Waipahu, and he was like, Waipahu, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, no. He knows.
So he said he worked with a lot of people like from Waipahu or from Hawaii. I think it was like in poker rooms or something like that in Vegas. So hopefully some of the Circa people can join us in as well. And we're gonna. I left it up to Kyle, and I guess we're gonna brave the cold. I'm assuming Stadium Swim has some warmers in the cabana that we broadcasted from 2 years ago. Their pool is open 365 days a year. I want to say it could potentially still be the only pool in Las Vegas that is open every single day. A lot of other pools will close down during the winter, all of that stuff, but Circa stays open with Stadium Swim. Hope you guys have checked it out, and yeah, it'll be fun. But Kyle said, I asked him, I'm like, all right, I checked the weather in Vegas. It is going to be in the highs around 58 to 60 degrees in the high. And I told Kyle, this is going to be the weather, Kyle. You want to go? You want to move inside, or we're gonna brave it? And he's like, let's go outside. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
I'd salute to him.
I do prefer cold instead of extreme hot. So we did the hot thing 2 years ago because we were up there in September when it was still hot in Vegas. But he said he's willing to do the cold. Anyways, I didn't realize we were that up against the clock in the first segment. So I guess we got to take another quick break. We can probably shorten the break. So we will be right back. And then when we come back, we will get into our Mountain West football rankings our power rankings, in just a little bit. So we'll be right back on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Back to more Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Get on our level. Welcome back to all of you, the beautiful list of all the beautiful people. It's Wake Up in the Den, Ku'ulei Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network. I told you it'd be back really quickly. Thank you for tuning in and tuning in on our YouTube channel. Yes, we are streaming live on YouTube, special YouTube live stream today. Next week, we will be streaming every single day and most of the week out there in Las Vegas, live from the Circa Resort and Casino in Stadium Swim. So going to have some pretty good views and hopefully have some fun chats and special time. We will be broadcasting live 7 to 10 a.m. Hawaii time. And then in Vegas, it'll be 9 to noon. So 7 to 10, mark your calendars. We'll be doing the show 1 hour earlier to bring you the 3 hours because we are anticipating being able to fill it up with a good amount of guests and / I don't know, between me, you, Paul, and Kyle, I'm pretty sure we can fill a lot of time.
I think we could fill them without the guests. The fact that we have guests makes it even easier and actually probably more enjoyable for the beautiful people to listen to, you know?
Don't have to listen to us for 3 hours.
I can drone on for 3 hours if they'd really like. I don't think they would. It'd be a lot of Jets and Knicks talk, and that's miserable.
Yeah.
People don't want to hear that. Could talk a lot about Hawaii football, though.
Yes.
And, I think people want to hear about that.
Just a little bit. All right, so we're going to talk power rankings like we've been kind of teasing this entire time. So the power rankings, let's go through the current Mountain West standings right now so far. San Diego State still on the top there because in conference they are 4-1 and overall they are 7-2. Boise State at the 2 spot, they are at 4-1 in conference, 6-3 overall. Hawaii is your third place team right now, 4-2 after that massive win against San Diego State in conference, 7-3 overall. And then after that, you have UNLV at 4, Fresno State at 5, New Mexico at 6, Utah State at 7. All of those teams 3-2 in the Mountain West right now, followed by Wyoming and San Jose State at 2-3. Air Force is 2-4. Colorado State, sad face, is 1-4, and then Nevada 0-5 in conference, 1-8 overall. So that is your actual Mountain West standings as it is right now. Again, Hawaii won't really move at all. Well, I guess maybe something could happen with UNLV and all of that stuff, but they do not play, as we know. Hawaii is on a bye and will return to action next week against UNLV. But San Diego State and Boise State, as we've been talking about, do face each other this weekend. So there could be a flip-flop, or we'll see what happens at the top of the Mountain West. So we also want to talk some power rankings because I've been seeing this pop up now that we are just a few games left in the Mountain West season. Some of the other just accounts on social media and stuff have been putting out their own power rankings. And power rankings, if you guys aren't familiar with it, it's basically who is at this moment in time, which team is the most, exactly how it sounds, the most powerful team, the best team that is out there. That's kind of how you do power rankings. Clearly, teams have bad days or have certain injuries or yada, 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 all the different things that go on throughout the season. So power rankings are kind of fun because you just want to look at the current body of work and what the team makeup is right now. This one is kind of funny that I saw with this was, and again, it's from serious journalists, sports journalists to not so serious.
More
so
fan pages.
Yeah. So this was a funny one where I saw with Barstool Mountain West, take that how you must, has New Mexico at the top of their power rankings, which, you know what, I can't entirely be mad at it. New Mexico has been kind of a sneaky
I don't know where to put them in my power rankings.
That's why I wanted to bring them up, because I can't necessarily argue with, I think they have a fair case to put New Mexico, and that's why I want to preface it where we go through some of this other rankings in this power rankings. They got Boise State at 2, Hawaii at 3, Fresno, UNLV, SDSU, all the way there at 6. At Utah State, Wyoming, Air Force, San Jose State, Colorado State, Nevada. This other one at the top, similar to what they had in the Mountain West standings, there is SDSU, Boise State, UNLV in front of Hawaii. But they had, I guess, Hawaii moving up a few slots. This is via a reporter at 247 Sports. They got New Mexico at 5, Fresno, Utah State, San Jose State, Wyoming, Air Force, Colorado State, and Nevada. So those are kind of just to give you a little idea of what other people are putting out there in terms of the power rankings for the Mountain West. And we were talking about this off air, Paul. I struggle because you don't, or personally, I'm not saying you, but personally, I don't want to feel like this is a homer pick. And I entirely want to put my football girly hat on and take a look at the current makeup, most recent game results. All those kinds of things kind of factor in when I think of putting together something like this fun power rankings. And I can't quit you. I cannot quit the Rainbow Warriors just based on currently, they're healthy, which is good, knock on wood. They're healthy. Micah Alihada looks great. The offense is clicking. If it's not one receiver, it's going to be another receiver, or it's going to be evenly spread around, or it's going to go to the running backs. Like just what we saw this past weekend, the complete game, able to play in the elements, the defense showing up, getting those takeaways, the special teams getting a return for a touchdown. So all of these things against the number one team in the Mountain West in San Diego State. And I get it. You can talk about the home field advantage that Hawaii did have playing in that Manoa mist. San Diego State just looking completely lost. Sean Lewis just looked defeated throughout the entire second half, miserable in the rain, like just getting drenched on while they're getting like poured on with the points. And I can't see putting them in that spot. Like if the game was close, even if it was 2 touchdowns, I could make an argument that, all right, I think the rain really, really affected San Diego State and they're this good team, yada, yada, yada. And I get it. And then, again, we're talking about Chris Johnson being out. That's why I like to look at the recent standings, because if everyone's healthy, you can make a case either way. But he's not there, and they're clearly a different team, just like Boise State. Maddox Madsen has been banged up. No idea if he's going to play the next game. So I can't legitimately think Boise State's offense is that good, because they kind of take away being that dual threat offense and have to rely on their run game.
Becomes a lot more predictable.
Yeah, when they don't have an Ashton Jancy, right? Like Dylan Rice is okay. They have another running back that's decent, but like I said, I can't quit you, Hawaii. And I just feel like they are and I get it. I get the fact that they put up a stinker against San Jose State. But again, they only lost by a touchdown. And this is where, same thing like I said, with San Diego State, they lost to Hawaii by just a touchdown or two. I could make the argument that they are still a good team and they had their stinker. But you do not get blown out 38-6 and legitimately think San Diego State is the best team in the conference and can potentially, if they played 5 games, they could take 3 of the 5 from Hawaii. And that's kind of what I think about.
Yeah, Hawaii's chances in that.
Better team than San Diego State. So I got to do it, Paul. I got to put our Rainbow Warriors there at the top. I've talked myself into it. This is where they should go. Just, again, recent makeup, recent games, health status of all the players, yada, yada, yada. We got to put the Bows at the top. Who's at the top of your power rankings right now?
God, I don't know. I really don't know.
I know.
Because I've been sitting here and I've got the bottom 7 teams all lined up, right? It goes Nevada at the bottom, Colorado State, Wyoming, Air Force, San Jose State. I do have above Air Force despite the loss this past weekend.
Yeah, same.
I think it's
legitimate. Yeah.
I think Air Force is fine. I think San Jose State had an off game, but their offense I respect enough where I think they're more in middle of the pack.
Yes.
And I have Utah State at 6. Then the top 5, I really just don't know how to place them, right? Because I was saying before, New Mexico, I don't really know where to put because I think they're good, but I also don't know their ceiling. I would never put them in the top 2. I'm leaning towards putting them at 4. Which then I'd have to put Fresno State at 5, which feels weird because they just beat Boise and they have a win over Hawaii. So it's that almost feels disrespectful.
They did get blanked out by San Diego State, though.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. And where do I put San Diego State is also a question in this because I think that defense is a lot better than what we saw. I understand losing Chris Johnson is a massive loss. They also didn't have a starting linebacker there. So, how big was that in this game? I'm talking about all of this. And yet I'm looking at Hawaii's stats through conference play, because like you said, this is not your full body of work, but what have you done lately? Also more so conference and things along that nature. And it's like, well, Hawai'i, I think Hawai'i has the best special teams in the conference. I honestly don't know. I don't know if there's a case for anybody else between the kicking game, what we've seen now from the return game, the sure-handedness of the return game, and now getting a return touchdown this past week. How great Kansei Matsuzawa's been. Billy Gowers has been a weapon.
Man, yes.
And flipping the field. And when you take that into account, where Hawaii's offense is top 3 in the conference, conservatively.
Easy.
Conservatively, I mean, it's them, UNLV, and San Jose State probably, right?
Yeah, I would say top 3, no argument, and then you can kind of argue they're the top, maybe number 2.
You could argue
3,
about
no
where
argument.
they place on the podium, but I think they're on the podium no matter what. And then their defense, I am just a believer in their defense. I know they put up a stinker against San Jose State. I know that Air Force put up big numbers as well. Funky offense and a really good offense. Away games, maybe I'm talking myself into it. I also have Hawai'i at the top.
Yeah.
As the team is playing right now, this feels like a team that is on an upward trajectory. Whereas you look at San Diego State dealing with significant injuries to key players, and also I don't think their offense is as good as the others in this conference. I look at Boise State. The Maddox Madsen injury really scares me. I don't know how long he's going to be out. I know people, especially Boise State fans, are it seems over the Maddox Madsen experience, but he's still a solid starting quarterback. So when he's in there, that's a team you have to respect. When he's not, I mean, their defense is very good. Their running backs are good. They're well coached, all these things. They're still a top 3 team. I think I'm going Hawaii 1. I think I'm going Boise State 2. I think I'm going San Diego State 3.
Ooh.
I think that's the way that have the podium shaking out.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah. And then UNLV 4. Did I miss a team? Oh, yeah. UNLV 4, Fresno State 5, and then New Mexico 6. Because I like New Mexico. I don't think I like them that much yet. That's just where I'm at.
I think we're somewhat similar there. Let me think.
Yeah, I feel good about that.
So we're both Hawaii at the top.
Yeah,
and it's weird, right? It just feels weird because you don't want to feel or come off as the homer pick, but we kind of laid it all out there for everyone in our reasoning as to why we feel like Hawaii is
once again
right
power
now.
rankings.
Power rankings, why they were at the top, all of those reasons that it should be Hawaii at the top of everybody's power rankings. And I'll go back, like I said, yes, they put up a stinker, but the offense put up a lot against San Jose State. They annihilated San Diego State. I would 100% feel differently if that game was a lot closer, because then you would give just the excuse that San Diego State may have lost because of the elements that they face. But when your offense is a really good running offense and you can't put up a touchdown, like that already says enough about your offense / how good the Hawaii defense was. And then the offense for Hawaii just, 5 games straight now, like over 30 points. Like, it's just been insane. Micah Alihado passing for over 300 yards and like how many consecutive games already. And like I said, it's not like he has been only going to one receiver every single game. It seems like each game there's like, like this past weekend was the Jackson Harris game, and not too long ago we had Pefele Ashlock, and then Brandon White sometimes comes up huge. So it gets spread around so much that we're
just still waiting for Nick Senecal to break out again, by the way. Who's still a really good receiver.
I feel bad for saying, like, I almost forgot about him. But yeah, you're right.
Well, he was injured for a month.
Yeah.
You know, and that was like a big thing where you saw Micah start to build this chemistry with Jackson Harris, and you still had Pefele Ashlock and Brandon White started to figure things out. And the wide receiver room is just so deep where, like, yes, part of it feels homerish. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But you just sit here and you talk about it, and it's like, Hawaii, I think, has the best offense in the Mountain West. I think, and I also believe that right now, knocking on wood if you can't hear it, they have good health luck.
Yes.
Which is a big thing at this point in the year because we just talked about it. San Diego State dealing with key injuries. Boise State dealing with key injuries. And all of these other teams, like, it is the point in the year where guys are going to miss games. And Hawaii, to their credit, have done a really nice job keeping guys healthy. They've had some well-timed bye weeks to help them stay as healthy as possible. And if they can stay healthy with a little bit of help, I mean, they're a team who very much so has a chance to win this Mountain West Championship as much as any other top team in this conference, in my opinion.
Just like being a homer pick, I don't know if this is me being anti, because my initial gut is like Hawaii 1, San Diego State 2, UNLV 3, and Boise State 4.
I felt weird putting UNLV down that far.
I just think losing Maddox Madsen changes like a huge
It's a lot.
dynamic for Boise State. They don't have the best defense either this year. And like I said, they don't have a run game that's as strong. Like if Ashton Jainty was still there, I would feel differently that they could do just fine without a quarterback. But he's not. So, and their current running backs aren't as close to as good as Ashton Jainty was at Boise State. So right now, in this point in time, now, if we're looking at this weekend, clearly I hope that Boise beat San Diego State just to bring things more even in the Mountain West Conference and give San Diego State a number 2 loss in the Mountain West. But just what we're looking at right now, yeah, I think San Diego State, part of it because they did put up a stinker offensively against Hawaii, but I legitimately think Hawaii is just a better team, and that's just what happened and what we saw
talked
Saturday.
about it as well. San Diego State's strength of schedule to begin the year wasn't necessarily as much as Hawaii, because I have a lot of respect for like Fresno State and whatnot, and like even just some of the teams that Hawaii was playing. Like, okay, I like even Utah State. I like them a little bit better. San Diego State beat up on some of the bottom feeders. They did what they were supposed to do, but now the question, and this is one that has come from social media now, is like, were they exposed against the team who has a legitimate offense? You know, and we're going to see this week with Boise as well, where they're not as good as Hawaii's offense, but they do still have enough push where, you know, San Diego State's going to have to prove that they are as good of a defense as they were over the first 8 games of the year.
Yeah, and we look at, I said this before, when we look at Hawaii in that Fresno State game, right? Like, that was when Micah was just coming back from injury, and he didn't play in the first or the couple of games before that, so it took him a little while. And it almost feels like we see that, like, the start of every single game. Like, he takes like lick-ins.
He needs, like, a minute
He takes lick-ins in, like, the first drive. And then he's like, oh, okay, I'm up now. I just wanted to give you guys a chance for a little bit, and now I'm good. So, like, Fresno State, we saw the offense start to click towards the second half. And I think if Micah had been playing the entire season, it would have gone a lot differently. The offense would have clicked a lot sooner in that game, and then we could have been talking about something else.
2-point conversion away from probably winning that game.
That's why I don't put too much into when we talk about this in power ranking standpoint. Again, unfortunately, Hawaii did lose, so they have that just like San Jose State. But same thing with San Jose State. As I mentioned, Hawaii only lost by 7, so that's where it's easier to just talk about the fact that, oh, well, it was just a defensive stinker versus getting blown out like San Diego State did here in Hawaii. But so Hawaii at the top for me, and I put San Diego State at 2 just because, love a good defense. And I put UNLV at 3 just because I do think their offense is really potent. I think that we talk about them, and they are that team where it's like, when we refer to Hawaii, sometimes when Hawaii's defense isn't as strong as they should be, it's like just score more than the other points.
UNLV scares me.
That offense, Calandria is just like, he's up there with the Micah Alihado in terms of the best quarterback in the Mountain West right now. So I think just because their offense is so strong,
it's unbelievable.
I put them there at 3 and ahead of Boise State right now. Again, because Boise State's offense is kind of, and their defense isn't. And
their starting quarterback's hurt.
Yeah,
like that's the big thing. He is.
They could entirely prove this girl wrong this weekend and what they do against San Diego State. Do. But yeah, I hope they do too. But that's my rankings in terms of the top. And then same thing, like I'll keep, I think similar like you, I'll put Fresno State at the 5, and then New Mexico. Oh, man, New Mexico, man.
That's
New Mexico
the thing.
at
I
six.
feel
Those
gross
two
putting
are like,
New Mexico down at 6 because I think they're so good.
Yeah.
Like, they have a legitimate chance where they could sneak into the Mountain West Championship if they win out.
Yeah.
Just out of, I don't want to say pure luck, but like similar to UH, out of the way that their schedule shook out. You know, where you, man. I feel gross putting them at 6.
They're also a team that, looking at what they have done this year, and that's how I know I feel highly about them, is because I'm glad Hawaii doesn't play them.
Yes.
It's one of those teams. I'm glad Hawaii doesn't play them.
Thought.
So
it's almost, it feels disrespectful to
Yeah.
put them at 6 because I have that same exact thought of, well, thank God we don't have to play New Mexico. We don't have to go there. They don't have to come here. It just feels like, even though I still think we win that game, it's one of those where I'm like, man, it would be just a rock fight. Just a brutal, brutal fight. So I feel like, but how do I put them any higher? How do I put them above the other teams? They haven't had a reason to be up there.
but then it's like,
Which,
they
I mean,
did beat UNLV at UNLV.
UNLV's defense is horrible.
No.
And also UNLV at UNLV.
And they did lose to San Jose State and Boise State. Now that I look at
So it's like inconsistency there too, which you can make the case about Hawaii. I don't know.
Okay.
We got to take a break.
We do got to take a break. You know what? Because they most recently lost to UNLV at UNLV, I will put Fresno still above them.
I can live
There
with
we
it.
go. All right, we're going to take a break. That was fun.
Adjourned.
We're good. We'll be right back on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Wake up in the den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Wake Up in the Den. Ku'ulei Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network and streaming live on our YouTube, a special little holiday stream that we have for you guys. So thank you for hanging out with us. And someone go keep Caesar company in the chat.
Our friend Oz
Like, where
has
is
finally
everyone?
chimed
Okay,
in, so
there
we
you go.
have some friends for Caesar.
Welcome, Oz from Sunnydale, into the live chat. Yes, but I get it, because it was we didn't tell you guys yesterday. It was a game time decision. Then we're like, you know what? Let's do a live stream. So we know that when you guys anticipated on Mondays, you join us. So this was kind of a surprise. But
You follow us on Twitter.
that is true.
You do.
Follow us on
You might
Twitter.
have had an inclination that
Yes.
this was coming today. Otherwise,
But
yes.
plan for next week to be on every day, and special time Tuesday through Friday. We will be on 7 to 10 a.m. Hawaii time, while Kyle and I are live from Las Vegas.
Not only is it the full week of YouTube shows, you get a full extra hour every single day. So that's almost like you're getting, 2.5 extra shows on top of it? You know?
The way you think there.
See?
We go.
Look at that. More content.
Previous segment, we were talking about the power rankings. So Paul and I were giving our power rankings for the Mountain West. I do want to mention that I do get a little bit annoyed when you look at the AP Top 25, and clearly there were voters that there are either San Diego State homers or they did not stay up before they submitted their voting, because San Diego State still receiving votes is like wild to me. They got 5 for the AP Top 25. UNLV got 2, and then there's some other teams, but I'm like, clearly they did not watch what we watched. And I know I saw some chatter about the fact that Hawaii beat San Diego State, like it's going to ruin the Mountain West chances of getting a team into the CFP.
I got bad news. They were ruined anyway.
Yeah, there was never going to really be a time, unless like it was another Boise State runaway, like it was not going to happen. But when you look at the college football playoff bracket, some of the ones I saw came through. There is no Mountain West representation, unfortunately, but no surprise. So you know what? I don't really care if we ruined our chances, because I'd rather get a Mountain West championship. The only one that cares is like Boise fans, maybe. I don't know.
San Diego State fans, I guess, were clearly upset too. But
we don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, here's the thing. Oh no, it sucks for the Mountain West. More money for the Mountain West would have been awesome. Yeah, blah 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 blah. I want to win.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care. Sorry. Sorry. I don't care. Either way, San Diego State still getting votes after that performance was a little bit surprising. UNLV also getting votes after beating down a horrible Colorado State team who fired their head coach. Good job. You won 42-10 over them, which great. Like, that's a road win. You have to take care of business, but I don't know. UNLV is a team who I've had reservations on all year. They have a great offense, but I mentioned it before. Their defense is so that even the 2 votes made me like,
yeah,
really?
I feel like it's just the Dan Mullen bias that he came over from a Power 5 school at the time, and he's going to turn around this program. So I think that's the respect that he gets. But other than that, they are not a vote worthy or a team worthy of getting votes.
It's a great offense. They're the Cincinnati Bengals.
Pretty much.
They have a great offense and a horrible defense.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, well. Anyways, we got to take a break. We'll be back for hour number 2. Talk a little bit more about the initial college football playoff bracket. Now, more predictions. The official one, obviously, still got a long way to go for that.
Time for that.
But it doesn't include a Mountain West team. And then we'll talk some hoops and some high school sports and, a lot of other stuff. So we'll be back for hour number 2 on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
back to more Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ule Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to Wake Up in the Den, hour number 2. I'm Ku'ule Agbayani alongside Paul Brecht on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM, AM 760, hawaiisportsradio.com, and a special live stream on our YouTube channel on this Tuesday. And you will, for all of our podcast normal listeners, you will be able to get it this time on demand.
Beautiful news.
We'll also have yesterday's show up as well on our podcast versions. Because the computer wanted to work. It was not on holiday either, so the computer wanted to work today, and you guys will be able to listen to the show on the podcast. But thank you for joining us. Again, next week we'll be live on YouTube every day, Tuesday through Friday, special times from 7 to 10 a.m. Hawaii time, live from Circle Resort and Casino, getting everyone excited and geared up for Hawaii football's next game at UNLV, where if the Bows win out, they give themselves a chance to make that Mountain West Championship game. And depending on how things shake up the next few weeks, I think you could still actually maybe calculate that they could potentially still keep their hopes alive of hosting at this point, because it's just going to get really messy down this stretch. But Hawaii needs to prove to us that our power rankings were not homer picks, and that they are legitimately the best team in the Mountain West, and beat UNLV next week, and then beat Wyoming here at home for senior night. But as we saw with Caesar was chiming in on the YouTube chat with the CFP, maybe they could represent the Mountain West potentially, but the Mountain West and the defunct Pac-12 ain't getting no respect. By the way, that's hilarious. Like last week,
what a poor weekend for the Pac.
Like Oregon State is horrendous.
So shame.
Washington State is horrendous. Boise State seems to be the non-Boise State that the world has been used to so far. And we mentioned Colorado State, Utah State, San Diego State gets annihilated by a actual Mountain West team.
Texas State loses and then loses their mind. Just goes and fights after the game against the Ragin' Cajuns for whatever reason. That was a great look for them. Good job, guys. Like, it just, not a great year. And obviously, they're not going off one single sport and one single year and all of these things. But it's way more fun to make fun of them, and it's way more fun to pretend like they are. Yeah. So, what a brutal weekend.
Sorry, not sorry to the Pac. And yeah, you're welcome for being the Mountain West 2.0. There you go. That's what happened. You blew it all up just to be the Mountain West 2.0.
Right. Good job,
congratulations, guys. Because at this point, with Hawaii's value that it brings in terms of eyeballs with the late game, I mean, looking at this season, the Mountain West, this might be a little bit of a homer pick, is the more valuable conference at this point. By the way, I forgot to mention this too with Boise State. As if you couldn't tack on stuff. Did you see that their women's soccer team lost a championship to Utah State?
It was a really bad weekend for Boise, or a bad week, I guess.
It was because it went to PKs, and then
I saw the shot.
The Utah. It was like a horrible shot by her, and the goalkeeper for Utah State stopped it in the shootout, and there you go, Utah State. So Boise State
it gets to a point you almost feel bad.
Nah,
almost. But yeah, brutal weekend for Boise State overall. And, I mean, it started with our friends from HPU, Well, not really, but it kind of did. Because it started with the football loss the weekend before.
The one with HPU was definitely bigger.
That's where everything really crashed and burned for Boise State.
Speaking of, we did get a text earlier that said, because we were talking about Hawaii's offense and it's clicking and all the receivers, as the young kids say, all of the receivers
had this thought.
Getting to eat when it comes to the fact that Micah Alihado will just find the open man, and whoever he's clicking with that particular game, you get the football. Like, he has worked through chemistry with different receivers at this point, and Timmy Chang calling the offense with the help of Coach Arcee. It's like they're just clicking at the right time. And we got a text that said, imagine being Dakel Crowdis right now.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Well, so I'll say this, right? And I don't want to go too hard on somebody making a decision that they felt was best for themselves. But I do think it is a classic case of the grass is not always greener, right? Especially when you're leaving a green team. where you are flush with opportunity. And especially now that Hawaii is showing that they are trying to compete in today's era of college athletics, not just by recruiting and winning, but also financially. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier in the week and then last week as well about, financial proposals going on. I mean, I don't know why you would leave here unless you had a guarantee for playing time at a top school on top of a bag. Like a guarantee, not like a pinky promise, not like a handshake, like have it in writing, essentially, that you're a starter or something like that. Because, I mean, otherwise, look at what's happened to Crowdis this year, where he's practically been a no-show in most weeks. He hasn't really been able to put up any type of
was
stats.
It Wisconsin?
Yeah, he's at Wisconsin.
I was like, I entirely forgot. Okay, Wisconsin.
He hasn't really been able to put up any type of real stats. It's been, I mean, hopefully the money was good, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say if his sole priority and purpose in life was I just want to make more money, then sure, then he probably made the right decision for him. But yeah, if he is someone that genuinely was like, oh, I want money and playing time, then well. There you go. That's what happens.
He has 3 total touches this year for Wisconsin. He has a rush for 15 yards versus Maryland. He has a run for -1 yards versus Ohio State. He has 1 reception at Michigan for 0 yards. So, once again, I'm not trying to pile on.
No.
But it is something to consider when you are...
You're on our team, so...
It is something to consider when you are looking at this, and I think there is a case to be made where, at the end of the day, what's most important to you? Is it an opportunity to show your skills, to be on the football field? Or is it just bag chasing? And then, you're miserable and you're just going to... Because what's next for him? Graduating, actually, I think. I mean, and it's a case for guys with more years of eligibility that, sometimes if you find a good situation, it's okay to stay.
Yeah.
And this is not just about Hawaii. This is about, everywhere, right? How many times do you see these kids have a great situation and then they up and leave because somebody's gotten in their ear telling them that they can get a bigger payday, and then half the time that payday is not there? How many times have we seen skeevy things happen? Right? How many times have we seen these programs trying to get out of payments because of injury, because of you're trying to transfer, because you're not as good as they thought you were going to be? Right? It's not as cut and dry as just, oh, here, come here, and we're going to give you the money. I don't know. I feel bad to an extent where it's like, I thought he had a good thing going and he could have stayed here for a great season and potentially put himself on a map, whether it was for the NFL, which I think was always probably a long shot for DeKal, just size-wise, or maybe the CFL, the XFL, whatever it may be. There's more than just the NFL in terms of opportunity.
Honestly, just even for the memories. I don't think...
Well, that's a whole other conversation.
I don't think a lot of these young people think about that. When I think back, I really wish maybe... Because now, shout out to people at Spectrum that they pretty much have almost every single... high school sport that they televised. I thought that would have been so cool. When I was going to high school, it was only football, and then they expanded after that. There wasn't really soccer. So it's you get all, and nowadays you get there's so many content creators that get videos of you and photos, which is so great. But if you're sitting on the bench, you don't really get much, right? I think it says a lot when you just get to, and you know what, even if you can't necessarily have those memories documented, I didn't, you can still look back and think about all the times that you played. Wow, I remember when this game, when I did this and I had this incredible game, right? Even when I think back to my best game playing high school basketball, and I was there was one game I actually scored 12 points and I was the leading scorer.
Hooper.
That will be, forever. That will be forever in my memory. And I know it's just high school, but same thing with college. I got to play at Chaminade and I got to play and Granted, it wasn't something I set out to do at the time, but it was nice to be able to play and actually mean something to your team and have those memories and all of that stuff. Where if you're just like sitting on the bench at a bigger team, like I said, I don't know his main motivation.
Yeah,
maybe it was money. We know a former HPU basketball player, it was more of the motivation to just get the bag and sit on the bench.
Which
Fine.
also, by the way, great.
Fine. But if it's not, like, man, there's some things that money cannot buy, and it is actually being able to play and have those memories and feel like, I mean, you will never feel that, especially if your chances to make the NFL or the CFL is not high, but you can reach your peak in college at a like G5 type of schools. No money can actually buy that feeling you feel, like say with football, of getting into the end zone and everyone like yelling down on you. Like say someone like a Brandon White, right? Like his chances after college
feel bad
is
for him.
Kind of, but he's had big moments here in college where if he stayed at Kentucky,
what I mean is
it would be
that
so different.
He transferred here, partially for the opportunity, partially because DeKal's his friend.
Yeah.
And then his friend just ditched him after spring practice.
But he's doing just fine.
And, he's having a great year or whatever, having a fine year.
But that's what I meant. But all to say where he could have stayed at Kentucky, he could have rode the bench, and he wouldn't have gotten playing time still. But he came to somewhere like Hawaii where he could have some pretty high, take away the Stanford game. He could have some pretty amazing moments so far, even if it's just one time when you get into the end zone and everyone's like, like you can't buy those memories as a young person. And I know that sometimes they can't look past that when they're that age, but listen to Auntie and say that you cannot fulfill yourself with money if you're trying to sacrifice those moments. But the only way to get those moments is if you actually get into the game.
I don't know if and this is legitimately me, pondering on this. I just don't know if the money would have been good enough. Like, I'm thinking what I would value him at in the portal, and I don't think that would be enough to get me to leave Hawaii for a year without a guarantee for playing time. I don't know. And it's the same thing where, like, you're talking about memories. These boys with Brandon White. How much more fun would it be to stick another year with all of your friends who you've made up through a full season, have your friend from before pull up, and now you two get to dominate? I don't know. The whole thing, I don't want to say I feel bad because I don't, but it's also like, man, the texter is 100% right. Yeah. Imagine being DeKal Crowdis right now. It's not, like I said, not a great place.
If his main value is money, then good for him.
More power to him.
Because I know those big autonomous for schools, Wisconsin, I don't know. Like, take, for example, Oregon.
They're in the Big Ten.
Take, for example, Oregon. I know that just I guess you can say their minimum wage all across the board for football, like whether you play or not, is around like $30,000. So, you know what? Hey, just to go to practice, if that's fine with you, then I can't knock anybody for just taking that way and being like, yeah, I want to make this, and I don't care if I play. That's a good amount of money as a young person. It's not like generational wealth or anything like that. You still will have to get a job after college, but like with those bigger schools, they do have kind of like that minimum bar of a pretty substantial amount of pay. And if that's what values, then you know what, everyone changes. But again, no amount of money could ever replace how that feeling of just, I scored one goal at college at the Division II level, and I still remember it. I'm like, that was awesome. Just because we didn't score too many goals in college, but it's okay.
3 touches. Wonder what he's making per touch.
Well, if it's if it's like Oregon pay, then that's $10,000 per touch. So I guess there's that.
If he left for $30,000, he's dumb. Like, with love and respect, if he left for $30,000, stupid. He needs to fire his agent. And I don't even know
if Wisconsin, because we're talking about Oregon, which is a top contending school with Nike money, and that's Oregon. So Wisconsin might be a little less for their non-player starter / just if you're on the team.
There's level. Also this, by the way, on top of it, Wisconsin just sucks.
That's what I mean. Like,
between the weather and like the team itself, it sucks. Wow. You could have been 7-3 with Hawaii weather, Or you can be whatever the hell Wisconsin is. Probably, what is Wisconsin at this point? What a question.
I don't want to talk about that. We're going to be doing the show in the cold, thanks to Kyle next week.
They're 15th in the
I'm already
Big
getting
Ten.
prepped, I guess. I wore a sweater today, and
True.
just getting prepped for next week.
It's been
Anyway,
cold lately
we gotta
here.
we gotta go to break. I did. So this is this is Nicole Auerbach's predicting CFP
Nicole.
bracket. Yes, one of the national journalists out there. I know Paul and I both respect. So her CFP bracket that she put out there. Just in case anyone's curious, again, they don't have like the actual bracket we won't see till later, but based on top 25, yada, yada, yada. She does not have a Mountain West team in there. Like it was so hard for Boise State to get in there last year. So the Ohio State, no surprise, is the 1, followed by Indiana at 2, Texas A&M 3, Alabama at 4. So they get the first round buys into the quarterfinals. First round, she has for the 5 and 12, USF, the Hawaii Bowl champs, defending Hawaii Bowl champs against Georgia in that first round. That winner would go on to play Alabama. Georgia, Alabama would be sickening in the CFP again. Notre Dame and Oregon is the 8-9 matchup, and that winner would go to play Ohio State. Whew.
That'd be less fun for them.
Oh, man. The 11 and 6 would be Georgia Tech and Ole Miss, and that winner would go on to play Texas A&M. And then 7-10 is Texas Tech and Texas. Talk
That'd be
about
fun.
toxicity if that were
That'd be
to
a lot of fun.
happen. Toxicity and then that winner would go on to play Indiana. So that would be a whole lot of fun going on in that region of the country. So yeah, Indiana though. Man, this is when it's like the NIL era kind of works out, because then you kind of see other schools that be pretty darn good.
I like Kurt Cignetti a lot. I think he is a great football coach. I think he is a great talent evaluator. And I think Indiana got a really, really, really big home run hire in him.
Clearly.
Like there's a reason that he got the extension and the pay raise and all that stuff just, 2 years into things, because other schools had come calling. And there is a reason why they did, because if he would ever consider leaving Indiana, he would be a great coach for any of these programs. There's a reason he was so successful at JMU. He's got the most killer quote of all college coaches right now.
Oh?
Google me. I win. That's what I do. Google me. He's so badass.
Okay.
I love him.
That's pretty cool.
I
That's a good
love
one.
him. He is as good as they come. Indiana's got a great one.
Hopefully he stays there and they can find ways to keep him, because I like having this type of parody and seeing other brands in there. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we will probably get to some hoops. Yeah, we didn't talk hoops yet today.
Baby.
So we'll get into some hoops, and then later on we'll get into some high school sports as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Ku'ulei Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM, AM 760, and hawaiisportsradio.com. All right, I want to talk some hoops just a little bit as the basketball season is in full swing. Obviously, NBA started a couple of weeks ago, and of course, college basketball. Woohoo! So there is a lot to get into today with some interesting. By the way, shout out to our friends at HPU. I wish I had screenshots of it to share with you guys because whoever is behind the social, especially the Twitter of HPU, it's been really, really fun to watch because they have been doing like they put together like this Mount Rushmore, like they have the actual Mount Rushmore, and then they put like the mascots of, including themselves, of different D2 schools that have beat Division I schools so far this season, and I think it got filled out. So, and they've been like kind of tagging some of these schools and saying congratulations. So they've been kind of feeding into it. There is new Sharks merch. They have a T-shirt that says like the final score on it. So if we shared it on our social, we'll try to share it again if you want your exclusive official Sharks merchandise that kind of commemorates that massive win that they had against Boise State. So it's been really fun, and they hope to continue this the winning streak as they go on the road to play a couple of Alaska teams before coming back home. And in a couple of weeks, they play the University of Hawaii, that's going to be, I think this is the most fun in the short time that we've been covering both teams, that this game is going to be a lot of fun and I mean, I know last year was really competitive, but it was kind of like a wonky game. I think this year, the talent that are on both squads with UH Manoa and HPU, I think it's going to be pretty darn fun.
Oh, it's going to be super fun. I mean, it always is. Last year, holy cow, the scare that the Sharks put into the Rainbow Warriors, and obviously Cody Williams with the three-point shooting game of his life, saving Hawaii. But I got to imagine after that one, HPU is still kind of looking at that game like, man, we should have had that one. And after going to Boise and winning that one, there's no reason that they shouldn't have the confidence that they could pull off another upset. Whereas Hawaii, they showed off how good they can be against East Texas A&M, though they also showed that they have some flaws at times, and Chaminade gave them a game as well. So they're going to have to be on their P's and Q's when the Sharks eventually come to Banco Arena.
Either way, both teams have to take care of business before that game happens in a couple of weeks. Switching back over, though, to the NBA.
They're playing bad.
Mavs general manager Nico Harrison is done amidst all the fan angst there. So the weird and wonky trade that happened clearly, or has a clear winner, because what did the Mavs do? Maybe that's why Mark Cuban got so into it with this whole other stuff that's going on with Pablo Torre. Yeah, he's just distracting himself from what has been happening to his actual basketball team in the Dallas Mavericks, and just doesn't want anything to do with it, considering he is only a minority owner, so has no say in everything that has been going on. We're still waiting for Pablo to tell us that NBA draft was rigged in the favor of the Mavs, getting Cooper Flag and all of that stuff following that massive trade that they had. Still there. Tinfoil hat there's something weird that happened in that situation. But nonetheless, Luka Doncic, yeah, he's kind of doing like the Taylor Swift reputation tour. And you know what? You wanted to treat him like this and criticize him all of this when you were at Dallas Mavericks. And you know what? I'm going to have my hot girl summer, or hot girl fall, I guess at this point, and prove that I am still pretty darn good at basketball for the Lakers, and without LeBron James either. So Luka Doncic doing great. The Mavs, clearly AD injury prone as to be anticipated.
He's hurt?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, it's amazing. Almost as shocking as Jalen Suggs and the Magic. So, yeah, just about there.
That's almost what everybody said would happen when the trade happened, would be that you're trading a young... Who could have ever seen the young superstar, top 5 player in the NBA, with added motivation of you talking trash about him on the way out, getting in shape, and still being, a top 5 player in the NBA. Who could have ever seen this coming?
Not me.
Not
at all.
you.
No,
not any
all.
fan. Nico and
not as casual fans whatsoever because I saw that coming.
I also saw this today. I appreciated this because I found Nico's arrogance infuriating after the trade, where he was like, well, we'll see. Time will tell who's right. And, blah, blah, blah. We're building a championship contender. But all these things and whatnot. The reporter or during media days from this year, my last convo with Nico Harrison as GM was media day this year. Our reporter's name is Isaac Harris. Told me my, quote, why shouldn't you be fired question was, quote, the most disrespectful question he's ever been asked. And then they had a good back and forth about it. Ended with him saying, time will tell if he was right. And he finished it with, time has told. And it has told, because what a ridiculous, ridiculous thing to say to somebody who's trying to give you an opportunity to defend yourself. Because realistically, Nico Harrison should have been fired the moment that he brought the idea of trading Luka Doncic to Patrick Dumont and the Dumont family in general. What a ridiculous thought to trade a superstar in his prime that has given you no reason, no inclination to believe that he would ever leave your franchise. This is a guy who would have retired a Dallas Maverick through and through, Dirk 2.0, 20 years, whatever it would have been. I'm not even a Mavericks fan, and I'm pissed off for all of the fans.
Yeah.
And then you have Patrick Dumont coming out today with the letter to the fans. Dear Mavs family, on May 30th, 2024, the Mavericks won the Western Conference Championship. We came up short of the NBA Finals, but we all agreed our future was bright. As fans of this franchise, you have every right to demand a commitment to success from us. And then he goes on and speaks about nobody's happy about where things have gone. I understand the profound impact that these last several months have had. Please know that I'm fully committed to the success of the Mavs. Thank you for your support, blah, blah, blah. Why, if you are going to fire Nico Harrison now, why would you have ever given him the latitude to have made this big of a landmark move in the first place? Who could have ever seen it blowing up in your face except for everybody?
But that's why it felt so oogy when it happened. You're like, because
the Lakers should hire him today.
A lot of these owners, right? They're not necessarily like owners of all professional sports. They're not necessarily versed in that actual sport. But there are some things like you didn't get your wealth because you were dumb. So it's like the fact that the Dumont family was approached with this trade and agreed to it. That's where it felt weird, because it's like, if you're the owner, how can you be convinced, and you just laid it out there, that this was going to be the right move and be okay with it? And to echo your point about just being irritated with Nico Harrison, and just even probably the Dumont family, I just didn't like where it really felt like they had no remorse to the fan base.
Also, it's just personal, which I didn't appreciate.
Yeah, but they just didn't seem like they cared. Like, the fans are the ones that buy the tickets, that spend all this money to go to the games.
The reason they have the team.
That's what I mean. And like, it just felt like they were so either actually oblivious or just purposely didn't care about what the fans completely thought. Yes, you're still the owner. It's still your team. You have the right to make the decisions, obviously. But there are some instances, and trades happen all the time, but there are some instances, and we talked about this when it happened at that moment. There are some players, like we mentioned, I compared it to the level of like if the Golden State Warriors were to trade Steph Curry at one point. Like,
there are some players,
there are some players that just matter to a particular franchise. Obviously, they traded Klay Thompson. Everyone's like, okay. And then KD came and went. Like, everyone's like, all right, if Draymond Green were to go, people would be fine. There is always that one player that you do not touch. And Luka Doncic was that for the Mavs. He was how Steph Curry is to Golden State. That is your one player. And, of course, they're good.
The torch from Dirk Nowitzki. Yes. You couldn't... movie writers would have dreamt of writing a script this beautiful to take a European superstar in the NBA, have him have a Hall of Fame career, and before he goes out, your team drafts the next European superstar and they get to play together for a year. And this guy, he takes to Texas. He loves it there. He never wants to leave. He turns as an 18, 19-year-old. He's a top 5 player in the NBA. And And you traded him for nothing. For an older player who's injury prone, for one draft pick. It was a horrible trade to begin with.
And again, that's why I'm like, either that family, the ownership is so ridiculous, or there was some weird backdoor business deal, because there is no, and I don't want to harp on it too much because we did it when it happened. Like, that was the dumbest thing.
Yeah,
and
but it deserves
Nico
it.
Harrison, like, deservedly got fired. Like you said, surprised it took this long. But also, even with Nico Harrison, just the way he even, treated Luka. Like, I don't know what he had against Luka Doncic.
It felt personal.
Like, so what? A 24, 25-year-old likes to have beers. Like, who cares?
So did I. So do I.
So do I.
I was going to say, current
he
tense.
He doesn't show up to game day drunk. Like, he wants to have a beer after
Even
the
if
game.
he was putting up 30-point triple-doubles.
That's true.
If that's what he's doing, sure. Do whatever you want. Yeah. I don't care.
That is true.
I don't care. He's playing great. Cool.
Show up wasted if
all
you
these
want.
people, the defense. Then build a defense team around him. Yeah. Build a defense. Look at what the Knicks did. Jalen Brunson is he's a 5'11" traffic cone. And guess what?
Defense,
They're able to play defense around him. It was baffling in the moment. And you know what? It almost is poetic, or whatever you want to call it, that in the end, it ultimately comes to an end right after a kid who started the year off flicking off the owner of the Dallas Mavericks in Patrick Dumont at a game, that his dad forced him to go apologize to Dumont before he could go to another game or whatever. And you know what he wore in his conversation with Dumont?
What?
A Luka Doncic 77 Lakers jersey. And that is the lasting image that comes from last night and now into this morning, as Nico Harrison is sent to the unemployment line to figure it out with many, many other people after making the most baffling decision of perhaps the last 20 years of NBA basketball. I don't think it's unfair to say that. I will never be able to truly fathom. Think how crazy of a deal you have to make for people to legitimately be like, something has to be going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
There has to be collusion in the background. The NBA had to have promised them the number 1 overall pick. They had to have blackmail or whatever.
Yeah.
For all of those things to actually feel like they hold weight because of the insanity of the trade in the instance and afterwards. The dumbest trade in maybe NBA history, certainly the last 20 years. Nico Harrison, enjoy the unemployment line. It suits you well and your arrogance.
You know what's the most annoying thing, too, is when you talk about this, and their new owners, obviously the Mavs, it was owned by Mark Cuban for a long time, but it's very, just in terms of the feeling and who their superstar went to, it just reminds me of Artie Moreno being a horrible owner in LA and then letting Shohei Ohtani walk away to the next door neighbor team in the LA Dodgers. And we know the history of that. And then of all teams, you would let go for free Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers that already has LeBron James. That I'm like, really, LA? Really? And I know our friends in the Sporting Tribune are LA people, but we here in the studio are not. So I'm just like, thanks, LA Angels. And this is a ownership that doesn't really know what they're doing. We actually had someone messaged about, I think it was in our YouTube chat about, people, I know a lot of these owners inherit their wealth, and it's true. But that, to me, that trade is, you could barely know any basketball, and I don't know how you let that happen. Or I don't know how Mark Cuban at least doesn't.
NBA 2K would deny it.
Yeah. I don't know how Mark Cuban, even what little say he has now as just a really small minority owner, hey, you guys should reconsider this.
Baffling.
Anyways. We're going to take a break. We'll be back to talk some high school sports on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network.
Back to more Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ule Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Welcome back to all of you, the beautifulest of all the beautiful people. It's Wake Up in the Den. Ku'ule Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM, AM 760, hawaiisportsradio.com, and doing a special live stream on our YouTube channel. Normally, you can catch us live every single Monday. Next week, we will be broadcasting live on YouTube every day and special hours. Monday will still be our usual from 8 to 10, but Tuesday through Friday, Kyle Galdera and I will be live from Circa Resort and Casino, and we're doing a special hours, a 3-hour show from 7 to 10 Hawaii time. So we get an extra hour and we get all YouTube shows throughout the time. So we hope you guys join us in that time. All right. I know we only got like 20 minutes left in the show, so I want to make sure we talk some high school sports because our Michael Esquero, as we were saying, does a fabulous job just being all over the place so that we can bring you and keep you updated with just about anything and everything, including bowling. Hey, yo. So the 2025 HHSAA Bowling State Championships happened, and Michael, as he does so well, was able to cover it. The boys individual champion Thomas Onodera and the boys team state champion Castle High School. Let's go Knights. So Castle taking both the team and the individual from Castle. Senior Thomas Onodera from Castle High School took home the state championship for bowling. And on the girls side, the team champ for girls bowling is Pearl City. Shout out Chargers. And the individual champ is Christina Kidd from Kalani. So congratulations. Ooh, OIA sweep there for the state tournament in bowling. But Michael did get a chance to catch up with the boys state champ in Thomas Onodera. And this is what he had to tell our Michael Esquero.
All right, we're with Thomas, a senior out of Castle High School, winning the individual state title for boys bowling. You know, Thomas, how does it feel right now?
It feels good. I'm just grateful, and I just want to give all glory and praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I wouldn't be here without him. And I just want to thank my parents, my mom, my dad, my grandma, my auntie, everyone who came to support me. It's really surreal. I just can't believe it. Now that I'm holding it, I mean, it's crazy, and I'm just so grateful.
And then you guys also won the team state title for Castle, right? So kind of talk about your teammates helping each other, push each other, as well pushing you to the individual title.
I mean, they're right over here. I mean, they're with me the whole way. I mean, there's definitely had our lows and where they weren't at their top shape, but you know, we all spur each other on, just trying to make sure that we get the best out of everybody. They're just a huge part of the team. There's no team without them, and I'm so grateful to have them as my senior year team. They're the best set of bowlers this year. I mean, and we won, and I'm so grateful for them, and I'm thankful.
After day one, you were kind of near the top of the standings, if not at the top, right? Yeah. Very top. How did you maintain that consistency throughout the whole 2-day tournament?
I really didn't. The first day I was consistent, but then the first 2 games today, I kind of dropped, and that kind of what led me to the final moments of the tournament where I secured it. What helped me, like, kind of just stay calm and remain in the moment is just talking to my dad and my mom, just keeping me in check and talking to God. God helped me. God really bowled the last 3 shots for me, and I just want to thank my mom, my dad, and just my brothers, Seppi and Carson. I really wouldn't be here without them, and yeah.
I love that. Shout out to all of the family there of Thomas Onodera. Again, the boys bowling state champion out of Castle High School, and Castle taking home the team state championship, and Pearl City with the girls for the team, and individual Christina Kidd out of Kalani High School for the individual state bowling champion.
Are you a good bowler? Do you bowl at all?
For fun, yeah. How
good are you at bowling? Because I am not.
I get a little better when I do Luka Doncic things.
Understood. As well.
Usually if I have like 3 beverages is when I get better.
That's fair. Yeah. The less I think, it's similar to golf for me, where the less I think about it, the better I do. Yeah. So, yes, very similar. We should have some sort. That'd be fun content sometime for the social media.
Go bowling out there.
I feel like part of me feels like Michael is a ringer at bowling.
Michael's going to be
Like
really
it feels like that would
as
be the
long
sport
as we're
that he's
not
like
playing
a killer.
against Micah Alejado, who
Yeah,
is
also
actually
true. Oh
a
my
bowler
God, dude.
who's good at bowling and golf, along with that football thing.
Yeah, he's okay at football.
Oh, that would have been fun if Micah Alejado made an appearance at the state bowling, because he is actually.
Oh, that dude is
you
true.
And if you guys missed it, like, Micah is actually a really good bowler. He really legitimately is. So that would have been fun.
So yeah, bowling and football crossover, just like everybody always expects. You know, that's
and then golf. Then we'll hit the course and go golfing.
golf.
All right, I want to go back
God.
to some OIA football. We did talk about the scores a little bit yesterday in the game we covered between Kailua and Aiea. Again,
Heck of a game.
Kailua, able to just barely beat Aiea 21-19 for their first OIA football championship since 2001, but that was a shared one with Kahuku due to there not being a championship game because of the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks. But this is Kailua's first outright OIA championship since 1965. So we didn't get to do it yesterday, so wanted to let you guys hear from Kailua head coach Hau'oli Wong, again with the other media, following that nice win on Friday night.
I mean, that's what happens in this division. I mean, everybody can make plays, and they made plays. I mean, they got one of the best offensive players in the state in Hickey, and he came out and he showed up. He showed out tonight, and so did the rest of the IAA team. It's just, it's sad that somebody has to come away with a loss, but we're just very grateful that we came away with the W.
What do you think about playing them again next week?
Well, it's gonna be tough. It's the third time.
It'll be at home.
It'll be at home.
Are the lights up?
Nah, man, it's gonna be in that daytime, man. But
that's your advantage.
But it is. It's to our advantage. But that's what you work for, right? I mean, if you win the championship, you host, and we'd like to be a higher seed. We're just pushing that out there because this division is the toughest.
Yeah. And technically you're the fourth seed, but they want to pit two OIAs because of the numbers.
Right, and that's terrible.
You guys have half the berth.
Right, put us on one half of the bracket, and let us see. We like to stir things up all the way through, and hope if we meet up in the end, why not? We deserve it. We're the biggest league and the strongest league. We have two representatives. Why make us take one another out? Why?
Because it's
in the nearest trash
OIA,
can.
DOE,
On your
whatever
way
you
out,
want to say.
much appreciated.
Everything's a system.
But please get home safely.
We got eight teams. We got 8 teams. You know what I mean? We got 8 teams.
Coach, I think on the 2-point conversion stop, maybe, and then also on the fourth down try by them that sealed it for you guys. I think Ben was one of the first guys on the spot defensively.
Yes.
What can you say about his efforts tonight?
Well, I mean, he was pressuring the quarterback all night, but we just couldn't corral him. And then we got to him on the last play that we needed to get to him, and I feel that's just perseverance. That's just want to. That's just heart, and that's what he did. He kept working. I mean, Ben's gotten double teamed and triple teamed all year long, and he just keeps going, and he has that motor, and that's why he's one of the leaders on our defense, and all the defense stepped up on that last drive.
Coach, this is a program you put your heart and soul into, to secure an OIA championship with your son. Has it hit you yet? I mean, what does this mean?
It hasn't yet, but it's just it means so much to me because I'm an alumni. It hurts. The losses hurt more than a normal coach would that's not from here. The wins mean a lot more to you, and the wins, not only the wins on the field, it's the wins in the classroom, it's the wins in the community, it's the wins with their personal life, and it means a lot more to me because these are the halls that I roamed. And I came out of there and I went to the highest level, and I just want to give them something that I had there and try and make it better than what it was when I was there.
And it's been so long, Coach. I mean, even 2001 when Kailua was co-champs, like the title games were canceled, right? Because of 9/11 and everything. So, I mean, to actually win like a OIA championship game for the first time in decades, I mean, how does that sound?
That means the world to us because I'm saying the world again, but we have a plaque in our locker room. Notre Dame has one. I believe it says "Play like a champion." So ours is bleed blue today. So I told them when we win it, that we're going to change it. It's going to say bleed blue like a champion today because we are champions today and soul champions, not a shared champion, OIA champion. Like we've never had one at Kailua this way. But hats off to the Surf Rider Nation, Bleed Blue Nation. They came out, supported, and the boys deserve it, man.
There you go, Bleed Blue Nation. That was Kailua football head coach Hau'oli Wong following their OIA championship win over IAEA on Friday night. And again, if you guys missed it, you can listen to the game on demand and check out some awesome photos by Michael Esquero on our social media or at hawaiisportsradio.com. And he did bring that up, though, about, and I wanted to leave that in there, about the seeding. We kind of talked about it yesterday. I want to pull it up for everybody. So if we look at Division 1, we talked about it again, the getting the first round buys and the 1 and 2 seeds going to neighbor island schools in Kapa'a and Kona Waina, and then Kailua and Aiea in Division 1 ending up having to play each other in the first round, which is similar to what, or exactly the same thing that is happening over on the Division 2 side, where it's Roosevelt and Pearl City having a rematch already in the first round, and the neighbor island schools getting the 1 and 2 spots in the state tournament, with Kamehameha Maui getting number 1 and Waimea number 2. And we were talking about it. We were talking about it off air. The brackets kind of leak because the HHSA needs to plan for travel purposes. But I do agree with Coach Wong in that, the OIA, and this is not my OIA bias, but they are the most competitive league and they have the most teams. And we love our neighbor island teams. I know Kona Waina has won before and Kapa'a has done really well, but it just feels weird to cannibalize the OIA, having that they have all the most representation and are elite and competitive. It's like, why not put the OIA championship in that 1 or 2 seed? I don't care which one you put. Heck, even if you put them on the same side of the other OIA school, but the OIA school that lost has to at least play one of the neighbor islands or the ILH.
You
and
just
then
can't
move
have
on.
it be back to back.
It's just so weird to me. Like, well, and Kyle mentioned this, and I agree. Where, all right, whenever it goes on, then you reseed the teams and you change it every year, but they just have the seeding how it is. Like, so there have been years where, like, yeah, your neighbor island teams are stronger, at least on paper or by the eyeball test, than some of the OIA, than the OIA champion. I get it. Then, like, change the seeding every year, but they're always going to put it how it is. And where the neighbor islands always get that auto buy and you cannibalize the OIA schools. It's just kind of like, but
I don't really get why you don't have the ILH play one of the OIA schools and then the OIA. Like, it seems like such a layup to me that I really don't understand why they're, like, the fact that this is an issue at all. It shouldn't be an issue. They shouldn't be playing in back-to-back weeks. It feels like such an easy thing. Like you said, it shouldn't be cannibalizing 2 of the same. And I don't know, I guess the thought process is that way you just have one from each league since they have multiple anyway. In the, like, I don't know. I don't like it. It feels wrong to me. If you're going to give multiple bids to the OIA, it seems stupid to have it just be the OIA championship 2.0. Why not just have the OIA championship be the lone bid then?
Yeah. And
like,
again,
it just,
like Coach Wong said, the OIA has 8 teams in they're in both Division 1 and Division 2. So then when you look at some of the neighbor islands, like you have Baldwin that's in there. Now, the Baldwin is the 5th seed, but the MIL D1 only has 3 teams among themselves.
By the way, why don't they come
and
over to Oahu?
Well, Kapa'a having the number 1 overall seed, but the KIF only has Kapa'a, Waimea, and Kauai. Like, so it just seems weird to put, and again, I know, don't yell at me, Kapa'a people. I know you guys have a really good football program, but we're just saying in terms of the competition that you play on each island, to give a league that has only 2 other schools that you're like, oh yeah, this should definitely be the number 1 team. Again, you can put them at the 2, that's fine. And then you have Kona Waina that, again, very, very good program, but they are pretty much annihilate the entire Big Island, and they have Kea'a, Waikea, Hilo, and Kealakehe that's in the BIF Division 1. So it's just the makeup of how many teams there are, which is why the OIA does get multiple bids.
This
and
is
it's
so
just kind
stupid.
of weird.
Wait a second. Now I'm really looking at it. Why the hell is Pac-5 not playing Pearl City and Roosevelt not playing Chaos Hawaii? It just feels like such a layup. Like, just change it. Is it because, like, and also Pac-5's 3-3. Oh my God. Whatever. Now, I was not upset about this because I had not actually, like, looked into it. I know you guys had been talking about it a bunch, but I've been looking into, like, other things. This is the first time I'm actually looking into it. Now I'm, like, actually upset about it because I didn't realize, like, both games are on Oahu. Just flip them. stupid.
Again,
Whatever.
you can just reseed it if you really want to, give a little extra favoritism to the neighbor islands. Fine, travel purposes, whatever. But yeah, I think the OIA would be fine being the 4th seed if it meant they didn't have to have a rematch for their championship. I don't think they care as much about seeding as they care about the fact that we have to have this rematch. Just put the OIA, if you want to do the automatic seeding,
You're going to have to
just
win
make
on a neutral
OIA
field
just
anyway.
make the OIA the 4th seed.
To win a
and
state
let's just go
championship,
with
I'm
there.
talking.
Yeah, let's just do
Whatever.
it that way. Yeah, it is really, really weird.
I was not
Anyways,
upset about this until I actually looked at it.
we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to close it out here on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network.
Wake Up in the Den with Ku'ulei Agbayani on the Hawai'i Sports Radio Network, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
Ku'ulei Agbayani and Paul Brecht on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network, and closing out our special Tuesday holiday live stream here on HSRN. We were talking high school football, and we only got like a minute or so left in the show, so I did want to make sure we mentioned our Fun Factory VIP of the game, our final Fun Factory VIP of the game for the football season. Kailua quarterback Isaiah Keanui Zemelo. Shout out to him and his performance against Aiea. And shout out to Fun Factory for their support dating back to last season when it came to girls flag football. They helped us with girls volleyball this season and football, and they are coming back. I got the Sign Still Deliver paper that they are going to continue their support of OIA sports by with the Fun Factory VIP of the game for basketball season coming up. So thank you again to our friends at Fun Factory and being able to give these $100 token cards to these kids who earn it, who work their tail off, and our broadcasters select who our Fun Factory VIP of the game is, and they get to enjoy some fun at Fun Factory with their friends or their family with the token card that Fun Factory is so generously gives to our VIPs of every game.
I've said it dozens of times at this point. It is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, company that we work with. Just in general, a lot of fun. The people are awesome as well to work with. So very thankful for them. Thankful we get to keep on giving them out, and thankful we get to keep seeing these kids smile after we give them.
Yep, and I know I keep saying it, but I do need to work on our broadcast schedules for HPU basketball and, of course, high school basketball and a lot of stuff. But for now, we got to go. So for Paul Brecht, I'm Ku'ulei Agbayani. Mahalo for listening and watching. It's been Wake Up in the Den. Bye!
KGU AM K236CR Honolulu.